Hello there, my name's Dan Glass and I organise with Plain Stupid and So We Stand and various other movements for environmental and social justice. I've been involved in the fight against airport expansion in the UK for a few years now, and it's been a roller coaster ride. I was in Munich the other week and was so inspired by the movement against the airport expansion there. Then we went to Frankfurt and Berlin and saw the kind of nationwide picture and growing movement against airport expansion. It's totally inspiring and I wish you all the luck. I'm sure you can make the moves that you need to do. It's been a long campaign here, but we've had some significant successes, such as tackling Heathrow third runway. And we've also had a lot of fun along the way, and that's really, really important to remember. I just wanted to share 10 really strong reasons, which I'm sure resonate with you, which is what we always put to the front of our agenda and our political messages. Number 1, aviation is the fastest growing cause of climate change. Number 2, aviation causes illegal levels of nitrous oxide pollution. Number 3, aviation's contribution to the economy is massively overstated. Number 4, aviation is wiping established communities off the map, such as in Munich. Number 5, aviation is mostly unnecessary. First and foremost, we focus on short-haul flights. Number 6, or was that number 7? Aviation creates massive noise pollution. Then, aviation diverts money away from public services. Then, cheap flights are for the privileged. It's not the poor which make the most contribution to CO2 emissions by taking short-haul flights. It's the rich, expensive private business jets. Then, airport expansion will destroy important heritage sites. And lastly, airport expansion will destroy ancient forests and woodlands. These are all really, really critical to help with the fight against airport expansion. And unfortunately are the same reasons why we need to ground the plane everywhere from the UK to Germany. And lastly, just a few ideas which have really helped organising and helped with the success over in the UK. Number 1 is visioning solutions. Often it's so easy to be like, we don't want the airport expansion, we don't want the motorway, we don't want the runway. But what do we do? What do our communities, what do our people want on the space instead? What could it look like? How can we prefigure a different space, a different place? Break down barriers to action. If we need everyone to take mass action against airport expansion and environmental injustice, then we need to break down the barriers which stop people from taking action. So we need to have a lot of skill shares, a lot of workshops about the legal issues, about the barriers and opportunities. Then, a few more. Address privilege. Money and time are privileges upheld by other privileges, such as patriarchy and institutional education. So, in a sense, related to the last point, we need to really address and change our internal power structures on race, class, gender, sexuality, grounds, etc. to enable everyone to get involved so we can all take the action that we need to. Because we've always sat in meetings and there's always, understandably in many ways, the same kind of people who dominate. So we need to really address and embody what we want the world to look like in our very organising. Then, we need to build a broad analysis of direct action. Of course, not everyone's going to want to sit on the runway and get arrested. And, people have got other things to do. So it's about providing roles and support roles and everything for everyone to get involved, to validate people's time and energy and compassion. So that could be anything from being involved in the media, being involved in supporting, making food for people who are getting arrested or whatever, or writing press releases or making videos or doing non-arrestable actions, going on demos, marches, but we always need to be very strategic in the actions that we do. And actually, the aviation industry is posing a threat to all of our future, so we need to pose a threat to their wallet, because that's the only language they know. So we need to really, really challenge them in the language of money and stop business as usual. And lastly, address anti-capitalism, worker solidarity and just transition, which I know is going on very strongly in the Munich campaign, as well as the Frankfurt and growing Berlin campaigns as well. Building bridges across labour and environmental movements, building bridges across anti-racism and environmental movements, anti-poverty and environmental, gender justice, everything, because the battle lines are drawn between who's causing the problems and who's having to bear the brunt of it in terms of climate change across the world. Far too often it's just a very privileged few who are making the decisions behind closed doors, and the majority of people, predominantly more vulnerable communities, economically marginalised communities, communities of colour, women, etc., get exploited first and worst. So it's about building bridges and building those unexpected alliances which really pose a threat to the aviation industry, because they don't expect us to be talking to each other. So this is an example of talking to each other. Well, I hope that's been useful, and I really wish you all the best of luck. It's been lovely speaking to you again virtually. It was really an honour to meet you all the other week, and come to the UK sometime soon, and hope to see you soon. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.